Audio Jungle.
Hello, Austin Thompson again with the On Location Spotlight Entrepreneur feature. And I had the pleasure of interviewing several entrepreneurs who are members of the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce. And I have Onnie Poe with me for this segment of the interview. And how you doing, Onnie?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I am doing great.
Good.
It's a pleasure meeting you, and it was a pleasure just speaking with you prior to the video.
Likewise.
Yeah, but you know, what I want is for all that wonderful stuff that you told me, we're gonna get it recorded for our audience, because our audience would love to know all about you, about Onnie Poe and what you do and all that you're about.
I love it.
Tell them who's Onnie Poe.
Okay.
Who's Onnie Poe?
I am Onnie Poe, the one and only. Also known as Lady O to some of the people out in the social media world. But you know what? Among everything that I am, I'm a woman. And along with that has come many different facets of who I am and how I present myself to society.
Right.
And over time, I have learned to just embody what all of that means. And one of the things, like I was sharing with you, is not trying to put all of that essence into one simple container. You know, and I want to share that just outright, because it's something that it took me a while to know and understand. But I have several titles, I have several things that I do, several things that I'm passionate about, but I'm a woman first, and that's one of the messages that I really like to give out to other women.
Right.
So yeah, I can tell you a little bit about
I want
my projects.
We want to know about your projects. You said you have several passions.
Several passions.
She's got several passions. That means she's got more than one. It sounds like she got more than four, but she's got several passions. So tell us a little bit, give us a summary about all your passions.
Okay.
Right? What you're passionate about.
All right, so I'm going to summarize my passions by starting with my business name, Filling in the Gaps.
Filling in the gaps.
Filling in the gaps. I'm passionate about helping people, organizations, and just programs recognize what their strengths and weaknesses are, and I've been able to do that in a business type mindset.
I see.
So, for example, Filling in the Gaps started in 2018 as a tutoring company, it was a way for me to just get organized and structured, so that when I showed up to my first client, I didn't show up just as Onnie. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, but I wanted to come up with a name that encompassed what was to come.
Right.
So that's how Filling in the Gap started. And over time, it's kind of morphed and developed into a multi-dimension program. So some of the things that I do in Filling in the Gaps, like I said, I started with tutoring. I don't really do tutoring anymore.
I see.
That has moved into program planning and organization, helping other organizations design and implement programs such as conference planning, trainings, that sort of thing. I also received a grant 2 years ago. I'm in my second year of a Welcoming Communities grant.
Okay.
And through that grant, the whole purpose is to bring community members together.
I see.
My two main passions are individuals with mental health challenges and individuals with disabilities. And so through the grant program, I facilitate dialogues and create spaces for people to show up just as their authentic self, be who they are, and know that they have something to add.
Right.
That also has led me, or what I've been doing for a while, is encouraging women to release. I have a page on Facebook called Confessions of a Lady.
Okay.
And I think I am right at the onset of a release movement. It's been happening all along, but I didn't realize what was happening.
What is being released? Is it women coming into their self, coming into their own?
Yes.
Releasing stress, anxiety,
Let me
depression?
tell you,
Yes.
releasing all of that, unpacking their emotional backpack,
Okay.
and not just breaking the chain, but releasing the chain. You know, I know as women, all of us have stories. Every single person has a story.
Yeah.
Female, man, child, whatever, we have stories. And the whole concept of release is not being your story.
Exactly.
Not living your life as though you're a victim. Everything happened to us happened for a reason. And I believe that reason is for us to uncover what our purpose really is.
Right.
So that's what Release stands for. And yeah.
So discovering your purpose, right? What God has intended you to be, right? Releasing the baggage, releasing the garbage, releasing the static, all the things that may be weighing you down.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
It's required for you to now to be metamorphosized into what you can become.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's so important.
Right. That's it. That's the message. And a lot of people don't know how to do that because they feel like we wear our secrets and our shame and our all of that stuff. We don't really realize that we're clothed in it.
Right.
You know, and like I'll tell people all the time, if I walk into a room, I may say, okay, it feels heavy in here. You know, and it's a heaviness that women carry day in and day out. And they don't realize it. And I didn't realize that I was carrying it.
Right.
So I feel like I've gone through my own journey of discovering who I am as a woman.
Right.
My own journey of discovering that I am not the little town that I came from.
Exactly.
That I am not the shame of my mother. I am not the shame of my father. I'm not any of their stuff. But at the same time, I'm all of them. You know, like that doesn't define who I am in a negative, but it defines who I am as a survivor, as an overcomer, as this person who now I've learned to embody my own light so that I can share that light with other people to encourage them to shine their light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like the previous interviewee, right? Our discussion, it's not where you started out, but it's where you end up.
Absolutely.
And we all have baggage that we've had to dump. Right. We've all had baggage. And the thing about being an entrepreneur, a business owner, that some of the things that prohibits you from moving forward is concentrating and focusing too much on what didn't go right, what should have happened, what could have happened, rather than focusing on what's happening now.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have learned to live in the moment, and I've been talking to my family and friends for years about, like, I can't be there because I'm here. And one of my affirmations that I love is, wherever my feet are planted, so am I.
Wow.
Wherever my feet are planted, so am I. And that just means I am here in this moment. And if I spend too much time worrying about moments that have passed or moments that are yet to come, then I'll miss what is for me in this space.
Right.
And that's powerful. If I can share that to you and then you share that to somebody else, and then we keep passing this down, then we're going to encourage future generations to just be who you are.
Yes.
Be you. Release all of that. And one thing that I've learned about release throughout my own process and in talking to other people is we all carry this fictional backpack of hurts, of all of unmet expectations.
That's right.
Is one of the big ones for me.
Right.
And we may take them off, like you just like physically removing a bag, but we'll put it back on because we've been carrying it for so long. For a lot, we don't know what life would be like without it.
Exactly.
Like, for example, a person who may have had a failed marriage, or a person who may not be able to bear children or something. You know, those are hurts that a lot of women experience in isolation. But once they meet other people and know that their stories are not just for them, and that they realize they don't have to be defined by the shoulda, coulda, woulda. Exactly. Then they'll release.
Exactly. You know, when I mentor young people, young males, young females, and it doesn't matter the demographic.
Absolutely.
I focus on young people, right? When I mentor young people, I always tell them, I said, where you are now is not where you're going to end up.
That's true.
I didn't get out the starting blocks when I should have gotten out of them.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I really didn't. And I failed several times at college and university. I was inconsistent because I wasn't focused enough. And at some point, I got it.
It clicked.
It clicked. I got it. And then I never slowed down.
All of that for this.
Yes.
That's what I say. All of that for this. And you fail forward. Everything teaches us lessons.
Exactly.
Some of us get stuck in the failure aspect and not realize that this is designed to teach me something.
Exactly.
It's all about flipping a coin. A quick story is, and how I like to inspire all people. I say specifically women, but release, I believe, is going to be just a movement, not just for women, but men, youth, everybody. Release and Co. Release and Company.
So release is not just the name of your business.
No.
It's a movement.
Absolutely.
RELEASE.
Yes.
Release.
And that stands for something. I don't know how much time we have, but release. I'll give you the R. Recognize the weight of the baggage. Recognize the weight of the baggage. Don't want to give too much away, but release stands for something even bigger than just the word. The word itself is powerful.
Yes.
And when you think about breaking a chain and then
That's
just
right.
what can come from
Right.
that's power in and of itself.
Yes.
But when you take it to the step of recognizing that all of the things that I held in this baggage that were like my shame and my hurts and my guilt, if I can utilize all of that
Yes.
and look at it, flip the coin. Because life, we only have one coin.
Yes, we do.
Some of us, we only focus on the tail side, but there's a heads to every situation.
Right.
And that's part of what I want to express and release.
And it's like a caterpillar that becomes a butterfly.
Absolutely.
Right? Like a caterpillar that becomes a butterfly and it sheds its skin. Snakes do that also. Right? And then you become a butterfly and you now metamorphosize into this beautiful creature that flies and you have your independence.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This morning when I walked out of my house, a butterfly met me at my door.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's
Wow.
a wow to hear you share that story of metamorphosis because I believe in that. I believe in the messages are everywhere. A beautiful yellow and blue butterfly met me at my door this morning. And I was like, wow, I know that I am purposed for this. I call it purpose pain because I have a story that I didn't share for years. I did. I grew up and I was always cared for and taken care of, but I didn't grow up in a home with my mom or my dad. So I was raised by an older relative. And I had many hurts associated with that for years because I never really felt like I belonged.
Right.
And so one of the things that I've had to release is my sense of rejection. Now I realize that the coin was dealt to me.
Right.
Like how I was raised, not living in the house with my mom and dad, have wonderful parents who I have a wonderful relationship with now. But what I realized is that coin, I was set apart. I wasn't really rejected, but I was set apart. So now I can help other people who may have experienced rejection.
Exactly.
You know, and so it's powerful. It's powerful.
You've got to almost live through the experience yourself in order to help others.
You really do.
Right?
And all of us have those experiences.
Yeah.
Like my story is different from your story, but whatever you've survived, whatever you've lived through, it wasn't about you.
Exactly.
It was about how you can take that information and pass it on to someone else to help them live life better.
Exactly. So if I am, let's say I'm starting out in business, I'm an aspiring entrepreneur, but oh my goodness, there's like so much doubt, right? There's so much self-doubt. Can I do it? Can I really be a successful entrepreneur? Can I really be successful at starting my business, right? I need somebody to talk to. Are you that person that can help them get from that part where they're stuck to being unstuck?
I believe I am that person. And I believe that is one of my gifts to help people discover their purpose.
Right.
I'm a words person. I write as well, and I love acronyms. And even when I establish filling in the gaps, gaps stands for something to me as well.
Okay.
And you know, a gap is like this space between where a person is and where they want to be.
Exactly.
It's a gap. But that's a growth attribute there. And we all have growth attributes for success. So a growth attribute of personal success. That's what a gap is to me. So I believe that I have the gift, or I have the know-it-all to help people not focus on the weakness.
Right.
You know, and what I would say, the best advice I would do is just operate in your gifts. and your gifts will lead you to your purpose. I didn't start out to be a business owner. I minimized for years.
Right.
You know, I was this person, I had this knowledge, I was creative in this element, I was creative in that element, but I always felt like I had to contain it
Exactly.
in a box. We talked about that at the beginning. And depending on what environment I was in, I will only share a little bit about my passion.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't tell everybody,
No.
you know, I'm doing this and that, because I was told growing up, well, you're doing the most, you're doing too much, you know. And now I would say, whatever you're interested in, pursue it. And that will lead you to something else. And then you'll find yourself as a business owner doing something you love, and people calling you to say, can you provide a service?
Right. And not only to pursue what you love, but sometimes you got to keep things to yourself.
You absolutely do.
Because people will fill your environment with self-doubt. People will try to sabotage you because they themselves don't know how to get from point A to point B.
Absolutely.
So they see you trying to get from point A to point B. They see you and your ambition, right, and your determination. And they will try to put all this toxic fumes in your environment. And they're real. And they're real. So you got to keep things to yourself. Don't reveal everything about yourself. You want to release, not reveal. Right?
I like that.
Yeah. You want to release but not reveal.
Exactly.
Don't reveal everything that you're trying to do, because people will deliberately try to stall you. And then when it's time for you to break out of it and then now present your new self to the world, they'll find out about you. And then they'll tell you, well, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell somebody? You don't need to tell everybody what you're doing. You don't need to tell everybody what you're doing. Especially when you're trying to get over your own challenges, you know, like, can I really do this? Can I really step forward? Sometimes you've got to fight that battle by yourself, and you've got to know who you can trust with information. You can't just tell everybody. You can't reveal everything to everybody, because there are just people out there, they're just mean-spirited. They're just jealous, and they're filled with envy. And they're filled with envy because you're trying to do something. You're trying to move forward. You're trying to accomplish something that they are fearful of. And because you're trying to break out of your fear, then they're going to try to make you fearful as they are.
That
right?
is so true. I can definitely piggyback on that. And what I have to learn is, it's impossible for someone that doesn't have my eyes to see with my vision.
That's right.
And so I spent many years feeling like I needed to explain myself. And now I realize, not only can I not tell you, but I'm in a realm of my life where I'm moving by purpose, that I'm moving by passion. So I don't even know what to tell you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I am in the moment, and I trust that where I am now is where I'm supposed to be doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing, and I've opened myself up for that. And so I don't have time to explain it because I don't know.
Right.
But I do know that people will sabotage, but I just want to make sure that I'm not sabotaging myself anymore.
Yes.
And I've done that for years.
So tell us, what does a counseling session look like? What is not necessarily a counseling session, but a motivational session looks like?
Let me tell you what it looks like. And I just found myself being asked to do more motivational sessions individually. It looks like a conversation about being in the now. It looks like a conversation about just how nature and life teaches us about our life.
That's right.
It's a conversation about, tell me about you. Not what anybody else has told you you are, but just tell me about you.
Exactly.
What moves you? What gets you out of bed in the morning?
That's right.
What makes you want to stay up late at night? If you could just be in your element and you didn't have to make excuses or feel like you had to do a certain thing, what would that be doing? And so a session with me looks like creating a space for a person to be authentic,
right? For
a person to feel that they're not judged, and for a person to show up just as their raw, unadulterated self.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes. You want it to be organic.
Organic. That's the perfect word.
They got to be organic.
I don't want it to be practiced. I don't want it to be put on, because I can see right through it.
Yeah.
And I don't come in the room telling people, I can see right through it. But if it's false and it's fake, then I'm gonna have that vibe, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Right. No, I hear you. Because the only way to push past the pain is to be honest.
That's it.
Open and honest.
That's it, because we all have stuff. And what I like to say is, if I can own my own truth, then you can't use it against me.
Right.
You know, it's nothing, I've done many things, Austin.
Uh-huh.
We all have.
Oh, yeah.
I've done lots of things. I've had a lived life.
Right.
And there are some things that I probably would not repeat if I could do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But those same things have taught me lessons.
It's called growth.
It's called growth.
It's growth.
It's growth. And I want to continuously grow.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said to me once, well, you're not like you used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because if you are, then you haven't grown.
Exactly. I don't want to be.
You
Like,
haven't grown.
I'm all of those things, but I'm me now.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's an honor for someone to tell me that I've changed.
That's right.
Just like that butterfly that met me
That's
this
right.
morning.
That's right.
Yes.
And that I mean, you're working on a path that's in the favor, and people recognize, wow, Onnie's different. She's not that person that she used to be. And it's not like you're putting effort into showing people how you've changed, right? It's just organic. It's just in your actions.
It's just organic.
And they see it.
They see it. And I tell my daughter all the time, shine bright.
Uh-huh.
Many people call me sunshine, and they've called me that for years. And I realized I had to imbibe that, because what I realized is that they were feeling light from me that I didn't recognize that I had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so, because I've minimized, because I don't like the spotlight.
Right.
I tend to like shy back and fade to the back or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm at this moment in my life where I'm not putting myself in the forefront.
Right.
I'm just being where I am and shining in that own light.
Exactly.
And I encourage other people to do the same.
Exactly.
And that's what it is. And I had a person ask me recently, like, tell me how to do what you do. And I didn't know what they meant. And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, you always
What am I doing?
Yeah,
I mean,
what am I doing?
doing?
Like, I literally was walking.
Right.
And he said, you seem like you're just so relaxed and you're unbothered.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, I am relaxed and unbothered.
That's right.
Period.
That's right. Because your life has purpose.
It has.
It has purpose.
Yeah.
So real quick, the mental health and disability, what type of programs or activities you establish for those who are challenged and looking to overcome these challenges in that space?
Great. My main purpose is to connect them with organizations and programs and resources that can help them.
Mm-hmm.
I can create space by, talking to them about those challenges, being forthcoming about my own struggles with anxiety and depression and that sort of thing, and connecting them to resources. So what I find myself in knowing that I'm a gap filler. At one point, Austin, I thought that I was supposed to establish a nonprofit to create programs for those areas. What I have realized is that I am supposed to be a connector for other organizations in the Augusta area to find out about each other and to connect folks together. I'm a connector,
right?
And so I'm glad that I have come to that realization, because I'm very passionate about mental health and disabilities. But we have a lot of programs and resources in the Augusta area that a lot of people don't know about. And so I found myself recently connecting people. Well, maybe you can talk to this person and that person. And I want to be able to do that in a more organized fashion and in an organized way. And so that's one of the initiatives and one of the focus points that the Filling in the Gaps umbrella will be working on in the coming months.
Right. And sometimes it's not always about how you can affect people's lives.
Right.
But if there is something that's a quality or some sort of characteristic or a feature or whatever somebody's looking for, if it's outside of your scope, there are other people who can take care of that, right? Even in my consulting business, right? People contact me for different types of things.
Right.
And I said, well, that's not within the scope of Thompson Management Consulting, but I know I have a network of people I can connect you with, right?
Absolutely.
And that's so great, because if you're not able to help that person directly,
right,
you're helping them indirectly by pointing them in the direction.
Absolutely.
And that in itself It's service.
That is service. And
That is service.
I recognize that. I mentioned earlier about my Confessions of a Lady Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. It started as an avenue for me to just be open and honest.
Right.
Not like here I am and I'm going to tell you all my dirty secrets.
Right.
But here I am and I'm bold enough to say that I'm a woman and I experience these things.
Yes.
And I receive messages from women all the time who I've never met, who say things like, "Thank you for sharing that information. I needed to hear that." You know, and women have connected with each other through that platform on various things. So like I said, I'm happy to realize that I am more of a connector than I am an implementer in all of these different aspects.
That's great. And you're still valuable.
Thank you.
The value proposition that you have is that you have access to resources.
Absolutely.
And access to people that you can connect those individuals to. Right? And your value is, hey, I can offer you myself, or I have other folks that can.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So, if someone is looking to reach you, how can they reach you? Give us your contact information. Because I know folks are going to be reaching out to you. They're going to want to call you. They're going to email you. They're going to want to hit you on Facebook. They're going to want to tweet. Send you a tweet. Whatever, man. Just give them your contact information. Tell us how we can reach you.
Thank you. So you can reach me through Facebook. Several pages. I have Confessions of a Lady. That's a group. Just send a request. Fill out the simple questions to gain access. It's kept private for a reason.
Yes.
But once you submit that information, I'll be glad to accept you into that. Also, there's a Filling in the Gaps Facebook page. My email is Onnie@fillinginthegaps.net or LadyO@confessionsofalady.com. And also, you can reach me on my website, confessionsofalady.com.
Excellent. And folks gonna be reaching out to you.
Reach out to me. Reach out, and like I said, I am all about release, and I do believe that release will be a movement. Heal, let go, set your soul free, unpack your emotional backpack, and just be you. The world needs you. If the world didn't need all of us as individuals, I don't believe we all would have been born. So we all have a purpose, and if you need help in discovering what that purpose is, reach out to me, and I'll be glad to help you uncover that or unpack that.
Great. Onnie, this has been phenomenal.
Absolutely awesome. I'm honored. I am honored to have this opportunity to speak with you and to share my story.
I think I'm honored to be in your presence. Seriously.
Thank you.
And we are in International Women's History Month. And you're making your own history.
Wow.
You know, you're making your own history as a female entrepreneur, motivator, inspirational individual. You are making your own history.
I'm honored. I'm honored. There have been a lot of strong women before me.
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe there are generations of strong women coming after me.
Yes, ma'am.
And in whatever way I can be a light and that I can embody just what it means to be female.
Yes.
What it means to be a woman. I feel like my purpose in life has been fulfilled.
That's right. And there are a lot of females out there, especially young girls classified as minorities. And I don't like to use that term minority. But there are a lot of young girls who feel that they can't become or they can't do. And I remember when Kamala Harris, now Vice President Kamala Harris, was, after the election of Joe Biden and she's now the Vice President of the United States, there were pictures of young women, white, black, it doesn't matter, young women who were looking at the television set and they're seeing this female. Right? They're seeing this female, they're like, wow, I can become that.
Isn't that powerful?
It is powerful. That is the power of image.
Yes.
The power of symbolism.
Yes.
Right? To see someone who is like you.
Exactly.
And knowing that At
Wow.
some point, if I work towards that, I can become.
Oh my gosh, yes, that is so powerful.
It is.
Oh my gosh, I love that relation and the relevance to what release means.
Right.
I'm seeing our vice president just, it gave me chills then.
Yes.
And it gives me chills now. You know, just to see women standing as a woman. Society didn't teach us that.
No, it didn't.
Family didn't teach us that.
Right.
And so we have generations of women who we were taught, you know, you gotta look this way.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta act this way. You gotta speak this way.
Mm-hmm.
But no one really got to the core.
That's
no
right.
one is talking about be you.
Mm-hmm.
We need you. And I work with many young people now, and that's one of the things. Take off the layers.
Yes.
Take off all of that. And a lot of times we don't even know we're wearing layers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just what moves you.
Right.
What are you drawn to? And just be you.
Yeah, and as independent solo entrepreneurs, you know, the inauthenticity can drive people away from you.
Absolutely.
Right? When you are inauthentic,
Yes.
people can
They can see through
they
it.
can see through it. But when you are authentic, be yourself.
Yes.
Be you. Be who you are. As long as you're projecting respectful image, you're being respectful, you're you know, coming into contact and engaging individuals, and you respect them, you respect who they are, respect their space, so on and so forth. Just be yourself.
That's it. That's it. We all have an energetic field, I think, and I believe that my energy is magnetic,
Right.
and I want that to be in a positive.
That's right.
I just want to be who I am.
That's right.
And if you can get something from that, then wonderful.
Right.
And if you can't, because all of us are not for everybody.
That's right.
And I recognize that.
Yes.
But I would never harm a person intentionally.
Right.
And the best way that I can do that is just to be authentic in who I am.
That's right. Authentic. Onnie Poe, a member of the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce, one of my interviewees here today, and she's sharing knowledge, she's sharing wisdom, and she's sharing pieces of her own personal story, her own personal life. This is what it's all about. The On Location Spotlight Entrepreneur Series, right? I enjoy these stories. I enjoy learning about these entrepreneurs. And it's not just about the CPAs and the financial advisors and the manufacturers and the scientists and the engineers and the designers, but those who are in a different space, helping people make connections, helping people find out more about themselves and who they are, right? These individuals are valued and we need them in our entrepreneurial community. Onnie Poe, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For sharing your story.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you again.
Definitely.
And we look forward to another On Location Spotlight Entrepreneur Series. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Austin Thompson. Don't forget to share, like, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, TM Consulting LLC, and also please leave a nice comment. Happy Women's International History Month. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care. Bye-bye.